Hello there, hello. We are going to make, and I am on my new iPad, guys, so I am having to adjust where I stand, but I think you can see better. So this is what we're going to be doing. Let me see if I can go ahead and get my phone hooked up here, and that way I can kind of keep up with you through the phone because I'm not able to see you otherwise. So let's see if it comes on, and if it does, then we are in good shape. So say hey when you come on. Tell me hey. We are going to be making a 24-hour fruit salad. We are having this tomorrow night for my family. They're going to be in tomorrow night, and I am so excited. This is Jim's family. He has them in. We usually have them in like at Christmas, but this year we could not have it at Christmas because there was so much going on. So anyway, that is, let me see if I can get me going here and I can see what's going on. Say hey when you come on. Let me know you're here, girls. Please say hey, okay? That way I can know. First thing I need to know is, since I'm on my new iPad, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Tell me if you can hear me. That is important because I feel like I'm standing a little bit away from it. It is, we've got it in more of a landscape than a vertical, so I'm having to adjust to a lot of new things. So just tell me, can you see me and can you hear me? That's what I need to know. And anyway, I'm going to just set my phone down here and I'll try to see the comments because I can't see over there. Hey Sandy, you made it over here, girl. So anyway, we are going to make, it's a 24-hour salad. 24-hour fruit salad, okay? That's actually what we're going to be doing this afternoon. And this is actually delicious. This was from a good friend of mine. Her name is Frances, and she lives now in Louisiana. But it was her mother's recipe. And the first time I looked, the first recipe I had written out was in 1996. And so it is an old recipe. I've made it several times. Let's see, I can hear you. I just started watching you from South Texas. Well, welcome. I'm glad you can hear me because that is, I feel like I'm a little bit further away from my phone and I'm on my new iPad, so I'm having to adjust to it, okay? But anyway, 96, that's how old this recipe is, so it's pretty old. I haven't made it in a few years, so I had to recoup and make sure that I knew what I was doing. So, let's start. Let me tell you what I've already had to do though, because I don't have a way of stopping and starting on Facebook. You're either live or you're not live. So I went ahead. It called for 2 eggs. Let me tell you what I did. Let me get it. This right here is my double broiler, okay? So you can see I actually made, it's like a custard. It's like a custard, okay? So I've already made that, and let me tell you how I did it. So you will know, okay? Because I had to make it ahead because it had to cool before I could finish it. So I've already done that. But what you do is you just take 2 eggs, and I just took my double broiler. For any of you that don't know, we may have some new girls on here, young ones, but I just used my pot, set my double broiler in my pot just like that. I broke 2 eggs in here, and it takes 2 eggs, and it takes 1/4 cup of sugar, and then it says to beat it up. So I just took my little hand mixer and I beat it till it gets really, really creamy, okay? Then after it does that, you will add 1/4 cup of pineapple juice. Now you're going to take your pineapple juice out of, this calls for pineapple tiblets. So I just poured 1/4 cup out of that. And so it says to mix 1/4 cup of pineapple juice and 1/4 cup, or basically 1 lemon, okay? Lemon juice. So I took a lemon, I cut it in half. I have this little thing that works, it's faster for me. You just take it and do it like this and get all your lemon juice out of it. Believe it or not, it was 1/4 cup. So I mixed my 1/4 cup of lemon juice, my 1/4 cup of my pineapple juice out of my giblets, and mixed it together, and I put it in here. Then you put it on your burner and you let it start cooking, okay? And you want it to cook until it thickens. So you just kind of, and you've got to stir it, girls. You got to stir it. So I just stood there and stirred it till it thickened. And once it got thickened, then you will set it off. And then once you set it off, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. And you're going to add a 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. And just stir that up. And so this basically needs to cool, okay? So mine is cool. Matter of fact, just a little bit ago, just to make sure I set it in the refrigerator, just to make sure that it kind of cooled off as fast as I wanted to. It cooled pretty fast, but I wanted to make sure it was cool because the next thing we're going to add to it is whipped cream. So we don't want our whipped cream to turn to milk. So I did want to make sure that this is cool. So let me take this back over. And we're just going to set it here. Now the next thing we're going to do, the next thing it calls to do, it calls for a pint, back up because I forget that I'm not on Facebook, so I'm not on, excuse me, I'm not on my iPhone, so I forget that I have to stay back. But it calls for a pint of heavy whipping cream. So I'm going to go ahead and put my heavy whipping cream right here. It's a pint. So I'm going to open this up and we're going to go ahead and put that in here. Girls, if you are new, be sure to tell me you're new. Hit that share button. Also hit that follow button. Because what I'm trying to do, girls, in all sincerity, my grandson is trying to get me on 2 different things. He's wanting to set me up a business page on Facebook, and he's also wanting to set me up. I have an account on YouTube, but he's setting me up a new account, and so I need you to follow me so you'll be able to, I can tell you where I'm at, okay? So, okay. Let's go ahead and let's beat this whipped cream up, and all we're going to do is, once we start beating it, it will thicken up, okay? So, this is going to get a little bit noisy for a second. Mike should have got a bigger bowl. I thought this one's going to be big enough. I believe it will be. It's just I have to go a little slow to start with. So I hope you girls are all having a wonderful weekend. It's still cold here. I don't think we're in the low 40s. Hey Judy Bell, did you get my, you didn't get a message because I didn't send one out, did I? It takes just a few seconds for this to thicken up, so that's what I'm doing. I am making a 24-hour fruit salad. Girls, it is delicious. It is delicious. So I'm going to, if you stick with me, I'm telling you as I go what I'm putting in it, and then at the very end what I'll do is I will read the recipe out for you again, okay? We're just, right now I am beating up 1 pint of heavy whipping cream. It is delicious. Ooh. You just wait. I've already told you, it makes kind of like a cream that you just pour over it and mix into it. It gets really creamy. Oh, it's so good. So this is getting thick. All right, I think we got it. Let me get this off my beaters right there. Okay. I'm going to drop these in the sink right here. Okie dokie. Let me lay this. I'm telling you what. Whoa, I didn't get one of them out. Hold on, girls. That one didn't come out. I need a bigger kitchen, I think. Or more room. Okay. All right, so Let me get my recipe back out here because I don't want to mess this up. Because I've got about 13 people coming tomorrow night to eat. Excuse me, here I go again. All right, so after we've got this cooked, the next thing it says is fold in your whipping cream, which has to be beat until stiff. So let me show you right here what I've done to my whipping cream. See, it's stiff right now, so we're good to fold it in. Okay, so I'm just going to take it and put it right into this pot right here, and I probably need to mix it in my bowl here, but I'm going to mix it in here first, okay? So, mix all of this up, and then we'll move it into the bigger dish. I don't know, if I were making this whipped cream, and just for a topping, I would have added some sugar and just a little bit of vanilla. But since we're adding it to this, we don't have to do that. So we're just mixing now. I'm just taking this whipping cream and mixing it in with my mixture that I mixed on my double broiler. And when you taste this, girls, let me know what you think, because you are going to absolutely have a fit over it. It is delicious. And like I said, it comes from one of my friends. Oh, back in '96, she gave me this recipe. That's how old this recipe is. And her mother lived in Louisiana, and she did too. And so I just really appreciate. Matter of fact, I sent her a picture today. Her mother hand wrote it out for me. She was up here visiting with Francis, and she just handwritten it out on a piece of paper for me. And it was just a little bit different than the recipe Francis had given me. But Francis said, it's okay. Mom probably just did it by memory. And I said, you're probably right. She knew it. She knew what to do. She was a sweet lady. Momir. That was her name, Momir. That was what I called her. That wasn't her name, but that's what they called her, Momir. She was so sweet. All right, so now I've got this all mixed up. So I'm going now, what we're going to do, because it says fold in the fruit. So I am now going to transfer this. Let me see. Let's just do it in a bigger bowl. I'm going to transfer it into this bowl. Just put all of this good stuff out. Don't that look good, girls? Woo! Can y'all see good? Is everybody okay? Let me know, because I can't see. Let me know. It looks delicious to me. Just putting it out here. All righty. So we'll just put that right there. And I'm going to rinse my hands, girls. Give me just a minute to get that off, because it is messy if I don't. All righty. So now what it calls for us to do is start adding our fruit. So what we're going to do now is add our fruit. So let me tell you the fruit that's in it. You got a can of pineapple tidbits, and this can is it's a 20-ounce can. Okay. Then you have a can of fruit cocktail, and it's just a regular size. It's not a giant size. It's just a regular size fruit cocktail. I get this in my throat all the time. Then it calls for a can of mandarin oranges. Okay, so this is our can of mandarin oranges, and it's just a regular can too. It's 15-ounce can. Okay, so it says drain them well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little drainer here, and I am just going to hold over the sink, and I'm going to pour this can right in there and get rid of all the juices in there. We're going to drain it well. Can y'all see? Okay. Drain well, because you don't want this, all the juice, to get mixed in with this whipping cream, because it's going to make it runny, okay? So just make sure that you get it drained well. And we're just draining. It is so good to have all of you on, girls. If y'all have any questions, just be sure to holler out at me. But, all right, I probably can't see you right now. All right, so I have drained this well. I'm going to shake it just as much as I can here. And then I'm going to put it over in this big bowl. Well, let's just put it in this bowl just to make sure. Let's do that first. You know, that's not a bad idea. You get a spoon right here and get the rest of this fruit cocktail, this pineapple out. We don't want to lose any of that. That's good stuff. Okie dokie. Alrighty, and then we are going to drain our fruit cocktail. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to hold it over the sink right here and let all of that juice run through. Girls, this is so good. I promise if you get a chance to make it, you will love it. Be sure to share this to your page. If you want to keep the recipe, girls, share this to your page, because that is the best way you can go back and find out exactly what I've used and how I've done it. So just hit that share button and let it go to your page, okay? All right, let's drain this good. Just like that. Put that in. And then I am going to need to open, this is mandarin oranges. I'm going to need to open that can. It didn't have the pull tab, so let me get it opened. So we're having ham. I'm making a big old ham. We're having green beans. We're having potato casserole. And then we're having sweet potato casserole. And I have made another one of those by request, girls. You will not believe, my family will not leave me alone on that apple pecan caramel cake. My grandson and son absolutely love it. So they wanted to know, Mimi, please make that for our dessert. So I did. That's what I made again. So we're having that for dessert. And then everybody's bringing a dish. So it'll be a surprise kind of what they're bringing. Okay. There we go. So now we have all of our fruit. It's all in one bowl. So what I'm going to do, you know what I'm going to do? Let me rinse this back off, because what I may do is just hold this up just one more second. Rinse that back off again. Okay, okay. And let's just make sure that I don't have, now watch me mess up, girls. But I'm going to try to make sure that all that, see, even though I have drained it, there's still, oops, don't want to drain it too much. There's still a little bit in there, and I'm going to try to get it out. That's the best thing we can do, is try to get as much of it out as we can, okay? Okay, that looks like that pretty well got it. Okay, so now it says fold in the drained fruit. So we're going to just take this and pour it in here and fold it in. Put all of it in here. And I meant to, it calls for a half a cup of pecans, and I actually meant to do those ahead, but I forgot again. I got so busy doing other things, so I may have to just do my pecans here in just a little bit also. But all I'm doing right now is just folding in this fruit. And that was mandarin oranges, pineapple, tiblets, and fruit cocktail. That's what we put in, okay? Alrighty, now it makes it looking good, so watch out. You might see me lick my fingers. Okay. Now, then after that, it calls for, let's see, hold on, let me make sure I'm getting it all good here. Hold on. That aside, add loaded whipping cream and well-drained fruit. Okay, and then we're going to add in our 1/4 of a cup of maraschino cherries, okay? Maraschino cherries. It's just like this right here. Just maraschino cherries. And it calls for 1/4 of a cup. And I'm just going to measure it out in this little cup right here. So I'm just going to use my spoon and get those out into here. And get that in here. So I'm telling you, it's got all the good stuff in it, girls. Good stuff. And I don't think there's probably a right or wrong. You could probably add more of something if you liked it better. But this is just a balance of a good one, okay? Okay. Alrighty, let's see if I can put my lid back on. Okay, and then we're just going to add, now this is 1/4 of a cup of maraschino cherries, and I'm going to add those in. And let me just stir that up. Now it's beginning to look really pretty. It's got these red colors in it now, girls. Woo, that's pretty. Very pretty. And that even brings in a little bit of red to that whipping cream. Makes it really pretty. Oh my gosh, I had forgot how good this is. All right, then it says to add marshmallows. So it has 2 cups of the mini marshmallows in it. So let's go ahead and cut my bag here. And we will get 2 cups. 2 cups of these marshmallows. And I just have like a regular 2-cup mixing cup here. I'm just going to pour it in here. Nothing any better than marshmallows. Do y'all like marshmallows? I love marshmallows. Okay, that's 2 cups of that. So we got 2 cups of marshmallows, so we're going to add that in. Alrighty. So let's mix that in here. Oh my gosh, girls, this is going to be so good. Be sure to share this to your page, girls. That way you can have this permanently on your page and you can go back and pull it anytime. Also, if you have not been on before, be sure just to tap the screen. And then I would probably admit marshmallows as I don't. You know, that's okay. You don't have to use them. You can admit anything you want to, probably. I think it just makes it real fluffy when you use the marshmallows. We're going to add pecans next, okay? We are adding pecans. Let me grab them. Let me grab my pecans. I buy the giant size of pecans at the store, girls, so that's who I am. Because I use so very much of it. All right, I need to probably let me get my cutting board here for just a second. That will be just a little bit easier. And I'm going to get 1/2 of a cup. It's calling for 1/2 of a cup of pecans, which I have already, let's see right here. I've got another one. Let me get my other 1/2 a cup. Here we go. So that one is 1/2 a cup. Alrighty, now, I don't know if you're like me, but what I do is I literally just break my pecans up. I don't use a knife on them. These are whole pecans. Let me set this out of the way a second. So let's just get some out here on my cutting board. And And then I just take my fingers and just pop them. Is that the way y'all do them? I just pop them up and get them because you want them to be small, but you don't want them to be too small. You want to be able to taste them in this. So I just kind of pop them, just break them little pieces with my fingers. And it calls for a half a cup. Now what I'm going to do is just as soon as I get this pecans added, I'm going to read out the recipe one more time for you, okay? I will read it out, so grab your pencil if you need to. And you can write it down as I'm doing it. And share it to your page. That way you're going to have it all the time. And you won't have to worry about it. You can see exactly how I did it or what I did. I tried to explain the part that I had already done previous to when I started about the little custard part that you had to cook because it had to cool before we could start the rest of this. So that's why I did it ahead. But you girls can see how it's turning out. I think it's going to be absolutely marvelous. I think it's going to be great. Oh, it's going to be good. So it will taste good tomorrow night with the rest of our meal, and that's what I want it to be. So that's where we're at. So anyway, if you girls have not been on before, be sure to type new in your comments for me. Let me know that you're new. And like I was saying earlier, my grandson, and I got 2 grandsons, and actually 3 grandsons, that are very tech-minded, very tech-minded. And so they want me to do a business page, and they also want me to do a YouTube page. So, oh great, that's wonderful. So what I'm going to do, keep check with me, girls, because what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be telling you as soon as I get everything set up. I'm going to be telling you because they're going to share this. My YouTube channel that he just set up, if you want to write it down, be sure to go over and follow me because I really need you to follow me, is Patricia Crider, the Southern Lady. That's what it's called, Patricia Crider, the Southern Lady. And I will be posting over there, so be sure to go over there and follow me, girls. I need you to follow me over there also, okay? So please, please, please do that, okay? Please do that for me. And then when I get my new business page set up on Facebook, I will need for you to follow me on there also. So these guys are trying to help me. They know that this Mimi is not, I can, now listen, I'm not really bad. I can get around in Facebook and I can do a lot of things with a lot of this stuff. But, you know, I'm not 20 years old like my grandchildren are, and they can, Lord of mercy, they can do stuff left and right. They just leave me. I'm saying, now what did you do? What did you just do? That's funny because I know what they're doing, but they do it so fast, they say. Where I may have to sit and look at it a little bit. You would love my peach cobbler recipe? Okay, alrighty girl, well we can do the peach cobbler. And I'll tell you what, the one that I do, the peach cobbler that I do, you can actually make blueberry cobbler out of it. You can make a strawberry cobbler out of it. You can make an apple cobbler out of it. So if you want me to, maybe one day next week we will do that. Does that sound okay? Just, you may have to remind me. Because like I say, I have got my feet in a lot of fires here that I'm trying to keep up. But I will try to do that, hon. If that is something that you'd like to see. Y'all need to tell me what you'd like to see like that, because I like to do what you want. That's the key. So my brother, listen, he loves that peach cobbler. I think he could just eat that and nothing else. He always wants me to bring him one. He loves it. Okay, 1/4 of a cup of pecans, okay? So let's just put this down there. Let's bring our bowl back over here. We're going to just dump in the pecans, and we're going to stir them in here. And I'm telling you, oh my gosh, girls, Now this says 24-hour salad, so what it means is it needs to set up for 24 hours. That's why I'm going ahead and doing it today, because that way it will be tomorrow night when they're coming. And so this will get to set up for 24 hours before we eat it. So, this is what it looks like. Look at that. Doesn't that look good? Let me read you the recipe, okay? Let me read you the recipe. Don't forget to share it to your page. That way you're going to have it, girls. Listen, it's better to share it to your page, and that way you can go back if you have any questions. It's called 24-hour fruit salad. You take, I'm going to give you the ingredients. 1 can of pineapple tidbits, 1 can of fruit salad, 1 can of fruit cocktail, 1 can of mandarin orange slices, 2 cups of miniature marshmallows, a 1/2 cup of nuts, and they say you can put coconut in if you want to, it's optional, a 1/4 cup of maraschino cherries, a pint of heavy whipping cream. Okay, then you drain your pineapple and all your fruit cocktail and your mandarin oranges. You drain all of that, okay? So then to make your sauce before you ever start, it takes 2 eggs, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of pineapple juice out of that pineapple tidbit that's there, and a 1/4 cup of lemon juice, or just the lemon juice of a whole lemon, okay? And then after that cooks down and thickens up and you get ready to take it off, at that point you add 2 tablespoons of butter and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now, I'm going to kind of read you the directions, okay? You beat 2 eggs with your sugar until they're creamy. You add your liquids, which was your pineapple juice and your lemon juice. You cook it in a double broiler until it's thick, stirring it constantly. Then you set it aside once it gets thick, and you add your butter and your salt, and you let it completely cool. Then you fold in that heavy whipping cream, which has to be beaten really stiff, okay? Then you fold in all those those drained fruits that I told you. Add your marshmallows and your nuts and refrigerate overnight. Doesn't it sound great? I'm telling you, girls, 24-hour fruit salad. I honestly, goodness, think that you will love it. So I hope you will try it, okay? And just be sure to share this page to your page, okay? Alrighty, then I am going to get off. Let me click this up a little bit so you can see me so I don't look like I'm crazy. I'm going to get off, so you girls just have a wonderful weekend. And if I can do anything for you, let me know. All right, see you later. Bye.